Support at Indian Wells. Just look at this. I mean, this was back in Australia. Gate 6 literally had a queue. I know I'm exaggerating, but it stretched for miles at the Aussie Open. The scenes there were absolutely mad. Ali, can you recall another female star who commands this kind of support wherever she plays? Yes. Well, Taylor Swift comes to mind, but I mean, welcome back, tennis enthusiasts from every corner of the globe. What you are about to see today is far more than a simple tournament update. It is a ringside seat to a cultural and sporting seismic event. Anticipation hangs heavy in the air. The palm trees are swaying in the balmy Coachella Valley breeze, and the striking purple courts of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden are shimmering under a relentless, unforgiving Californian sun. This is the very moment we have all been anticipating. We are broadcasting to you live from the 2026 BNP Paribas Open. It's a tournament of such prestige with such a storied history, and so physically grueling that it has deservedly earned its reputation as the 5th Grand Slam on the tennis calendar. But this year, the atmosphere feels fundamentally different. There is an electricity in the desert air that we have not felt in a generation. The draws are set in stone, the practice sessions are drawing to a close, and the stage is now officially set. We are preparing for a confrontation that has the entire sporting world speaking in hushed, urgent tones. We are witnessing the dawn of a new era in professional tennis, and it all culminates this Friday evening in a monumental women's doubles opening round that has the look, the feel, and the very essence of a championship final. This is more than just a game. This is a struggle for the very spirit of the sport. The headline of the day, the narrative currently dominating every sports pub from the bustling streets of Manila to the imposing skyscrapers of New York City, is the confirmed partnership of the Filipino phenomenon, Alexandra Eala, and the American teenage prodigy, Iva Jovic. They are the young pretenders, the fast-ascending disruptors who have spent the last few months setting the WTA circuit alight with a brand of tennis that is as audacious as it is technically superb. But as the old adage goes, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And the gods of the draw have not been generous to these rising stars. They have been set on a direct, unavoidable collision course with a wildcard pair that personifies the word dangerous. We are referring to the Latvian powerhouse and former French Open singles champion Jelena Ostapenko, partnered with the powerful high-energy American crowd-pleaser Hailey Baptiste. This is not just any old tennis match. This is a tactical war. It is a true clash of the generations. It is a contest of raw, unbridled power against precision and composure. It is the ultimate examination of whether the future is at last ready to seize the present. To truly understand why this match is sending shockwaves through the tennis world, you have to consider the setting. Indian Wells is a unique, magnificent beast. The courts are slow and gritty, layered with a particular type of sand that grips the ball on impact and sends it kicking high into the dry, thin desert air. It's a surface that brutally punishes one-dimensional players, exposing every tiny chink in a competitor's armor. To be triumphant here, you need so much more than a big serve. You need lungs of steel, a tactical brain that can adjust to swirling, unpredictable winds, and a level of teamwork that is verging on telepathic. In doubles, where the margins are measured in mere millimeters, a split second of hesitation at the net can cost you an entire set and thousands of ranking points. The pressure cooker environment of the tennis garden is legendary. It breaks the weak, and it immortalizes the strong. Let's discuss the woman at the center of this massive storm, Alexandra Eala. At just 20 years old, she has already become a global icon. She carries the colossal weight of an entire nation's hopes on her shoulders every single time she steps onto the court. The 2026 season has been her definitive arrival. She is no longer just the promising junior or the one to keep an eye on. She is a top 30 titan who has spent the last 2 months systematically dismantling some of the biggest, most established names in the game. Her Middle Eastern tour earlier this year was the stuff of pure legend. Do you remember Abu Dhabi? She was down and seemingly out against Alexandra Sasnovich behind by a full set and facing an enormous 4-games-to-love deficit in the decider. Most players would have mentally thrown in the towel right there. Not Eala. She saved match points with ice in her veins, clawed her way back one agonizing point at a time, and seized that third-set tiebreak in a demonstration of mental fortitude that left veteran commentators completely stunned. She followed that performance with a quarterfinal masterclass in Dubai, standing toe-to-toe with world number 4, Coco Gauff. It was a match that proved beyond all doubt that she belongs in that elite conversation. But it's not just her results that are creating such huge waves. It is the phenomenon now widely known as the Eala Effect. If you were to walk through the grounds of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden right now, you would feel it vibrating up through the soles of your feet. The practice courts are teeming with devoted supporters dressed in the blue, red, and yellow of the Philippines. People are gathering 3 rows deep just to get a brief glimpse of her hitting a routine cross-court forehand. Chants are echoing from the players' lawn all the way across to the lounge. The atmosphere whenever she passes by is nothing less than a rock star's reception. She is the undeniable fan favorite of this whole tournament. She is a brilliant beacon of hope for Filipino athletes and a symbol of the new globalized face of tennis. Every single time she strikes the ball, she isn't merely playing for herself. She is playing for a legacy that extends across vast oceans. But in doubles, a team's strength is measured by its most vulnerable player. And for this particular pair, that vulnerability simply doesn't exist. Partnering with Aya once again is the 18-year-old American phenom Iva Jovic, whose aggressive style is the ideal complement to Aya's tenacity at the baseline. She is a perfect embodiment of the traditional American hardcourt game at its finest. Think powerful explosive serves incredibly quick reflexes and an utterly relentless mindset whenever she approaches the net. We got a clear look at what this pair is capable of back in January during the ASB Classic in Auckland. Their performance wasn't just good teamwork. They moved on the court as if they were one entity with multiple limbs, and their communication was without a single flaw. Their ability to cover the court was top tier, and they methodically took apart seasoned duos who had been partners for 10 years. Although they were ultimately edged out in an incredibly close semifinal against a very experienced team, they put the entire tour on notice. Eala and Jovic aren't just showing up to compete. Their goal is to completely dominate the sport. Shifting focus to their opponents, however, is where the challenge really begins for any emerging duo. The name Jelena Ostapenko is enough to instill a deep, instinctive fear in anyone facing her. On the court, she embodies pure unpredictability. When you're up against Ostapenko, every single shot is a potential threat. Her game has no room for defense, as it's all about relentless, overwhelming offensive power. Her ability to hit the ball with such force and so little spin is nearly unmatched in the history of women's tennis. When she finds her rhythm, she can fire winners from the back of the court that freeze her opponents, leaving them questioning if the ball even zipped by them. In a doubles match, her presence is incredibly intimidating because she robs you of the one thing you need most: time. On second serve, she moves into the court and unleashes returns that fly at 100 miles per hour, often before her opponent has completed their service motion. She's like a ferocious, unpredictable hurricane that you can't forecast. Your only option is to try and weather it. Then, pairing with her is Hailey Baptiste, who is the key variable that makes this partnership so volatile. Competing as an American in her home country, she'll have the California spectators firmly behind her, and she feeds off that kind of raw, intense energy. Her game introduces a layer of versatility with slice and finesse that balances perfectly against Ostapenko's pure brute force strength. Today, Baptiste is known for having some of the most skilled and gentle hands in the sport. Her exceptional talent for executing a deft drop volley or a precisely angled chip return makes her incredibly difficult to handle in the challenging area between the baseline and the net. She's also riding a wave of momentum from a huge performance in Abu Dhabi, where she defeated the top-ranked Emma Navarro in a gripping emotional match. Her confidence is sky-high. She's eager for more success, and she's playing with the mindset of a dangerous wildcard who has everything to gain. When you merge Ostapenko's intensity with Baptiste's skillful touch, the result is a formidable team capable of overwhelming any opponent in less than an hour. This contest will be a captivating, fast-paced exploration of both physical forces and mental strategy. The playing conditions at Indian Wells are infamous for one particular characteristic. Because the air lacks humidity, the ball travels through it with remarkable speed. However, the court surface itself is slow, causing the ball to bounce high after hitting the abrasive ground, which can be a source of immense frustration for a player who hits flat just like Ostapenko. She prefers a low, fast skid off the bounce, but here the ball will jump up high into her strike zone, making her adjust her swing upwards, a change that often results in unforced errors. Eala conversely utilizes a significant amount of the heavy topspin common in today's game. She can exploit these court conditions perfectly to drive Ostapenko and Baptiste 6 feet back from the baseline, creating wide-open spaces for Jovic to move in and secure points at the net. It sets up a fascinating clash of strategic angles against raw power, yet no one should anticipate Ostapenko will concede defeat without a fight here in the desert. There's a reason she's a Grand Slam champion. She performs her best when the stakes are highest and the spotlight is on her. She relishes the opportunity to be the antagonist, finding satisfaction in quieting a stadium full of fans who are cheering for her opponent. Ultimately, the outcome of this match will be decided by the complex strategic fight for control of the net. Evo and Hailey Baptiste will be engaged in a rapid-fire, strategic duel with enormous consequences. Which player can react quicker to close the net? Who can maintain their balance on those difficult low returns? Who possesses the sheer audacity to aim for the line during a critical deuce point? In the modern doubles game, dominance at the net translates directly to dominance on the scoreboard, and the duo that controls the scoreboard dictates the entire story of the match. Expect to witness reaction volleys that seem to break the known rules of physics alongside overheads that will echo like thunder through the calm desert evening. And we must also consider the immense importance of this contest. This is about more than just securing a spot in the second round. The pair that emerges victorious today will almost inevitably come up against the formidable fourth-seeded team of Elise Mertens and Zhang Shuai. Mertens is a multiple Grand Slam winner who consistently makes deep runs in these major competitions. But before Eala and Jovi can even think about the seeded players, they face a formidable trial by fire against Ostapenko and Baptiste. For Eala, a win here would be a huge statement piece in her 2026 campaign. It would cement her status, showing her ranking is built on more than just a one-off victory, and proving she is evolving into one of the most well-rounded and adaptable athletes in the game. A result like this would send shockwaves from the WTA headquarters in Florida clear across the Atlantic to the European tennis scene. With the clock ticking down to the opening serve, the atmosphere is electric, and the anticipation is becoming almost unbearable. The Eala Effect is a tangible, powerful energy that seems to amplify with each passing moment. Just look around the stadium. The Filipino flag is popping up everywhere you turn, dotting the stands with color. And if you listen to the buzz in the plaza, you will hear the tennis aficionados debating fiercely. Have Eala and Jovic arrived too soon to challenge such titans of the sport? Do they have what it takes to absorb the blistering pace of an Ostapenko forehand under the Friday night lights? Or will the Latvian star falter, overwhelmed by the slow court conditions and the roar of a passionate crowd? One thing is for certain, there is no in-between. We are headed for an incredible collision of skill and determination. This is the very essence of professional sports. It is the reason we watch, the reason we fly thousands of miles, and the reason we scream ourselves hoarse. It is all about the unknown, the high-stakes drama, and the pure, unadulterated talent on full display for the world to see. On the court, we have 4 distinct athletes, each at a different point in her professional journey. And every one of them has something on the line. There is the seasoned champion hungry to reassert her authority and show everyone she still rules this domain. Then, there is the hometown favorite fighting to protect her territory and bring pride to her country. And finally, there are the 2 rising stars, a pair of teenagers who are aiming for something much bigger than just a victory. They are here to rewrite the rules of the sport itself. Their mission is to show that age is irrelevant and that the next wave of talent is ready to take charge right now. It is scorching in the desert. But the fire on Court 1 tonight will be hotter than anything we have experienced in the 2026 season. This showdown has all the makings of an instant classic, the kind of match that years down the road people will point to as a pivotal moment in the sport. Get ready for a chess match of high-level strategy and awe-inspiring physical feats, combined with that unique, unfiltered emotion that can only be forged in the crucible of a tournament exactly like Indian Wells. It does not matter if you are a loyal follower of Alexei or a passionate supporter of American tennis, or even if you are just a fan of the wonderfully chaotic art of pro doubles, you absolutely cannot miss a single moment of this historic battle. Every rally counts for something. Every shot has the potential to build a legacy. Each serve, each return, and each aggressive move at the net will declare their intentions loud and clear. The difference between winning and losing will be microscopically small. A fortunate bounce off the net, an unexpected swirl of desert air, or one brief slip in focus could separate championship glory from crushing disappointment. But that is the magic of the 5th major. Here, nothing is ever handed to you. Victory must be seized from your rival's grasp. The path to lifting that trophy is built on grueling contests just like this one. They are punishing, draining, and maddening, but in the end, they are unbelievably thrilling. This is the harsh environment where legends are made. So, as the sun dips behind the rugged San Jacinto Mountains, casting brilliant shades of orange and purple across the sky, the stadium lights come alive, setting the stage for the drama to unfold. So take a second and just soak in the significance of what is about to happen here. This is not merely a tennis match. This is history being written right before our eyes. We are about to see the future of the sport challenge the established legends in a spectacular modern-day arena. The 2026 BNP Paribas Open is living up to its reputation, showcasing peak human performance in one of the most breathtaking venues in all of sports. And now we want to bring you into the conversation. The fans are the lifeblood of this game, and we want to know what you are thinking. Give us your fearless predictions, your sharpest analysis, and all your passion. Are you a believer in the incredible power of the Eala Effect? Do you feel that Eala and Jovic have the strategic smarts and the mental fortitude to withstand the onslaught from Ostapenko? Or will the sheer force of the Latvian and her American partner prove to be an insurmountable obstacle for the young pair? So who is your pick? Who will advance to take on the fourth seeds? Now is the time to make your call. Drop your score predictions below. Let us know who you believe will be the standout player in this huge matchup. Will it come down to Eala's brilliant defense, Jovic's quick hands at the net, Ostapenko's powerful ground strokes, or Baptiste's performance fueled by the home crowd? The conversation is just getting started, and we want you right in the middle of all the action. If you've been loving this in-depth look at the tournament's most awaited doubles match, and you can't get enough of the strategic breakdowns, statistical deep dives, and exclusive inside scoops, then you're not going to want to go anywhere. Be sure to subscribe, switch on those notifications, and stay connected with us. We'll be right here for the entire 2026 BNP Paribas Open, bringing you all the breaking news, the must-see match highlights, and unparalleled analysis straight from the stunning California desert. We don't just report on the game, we live and breathe it. Down below, the players are waiting in the tunnel while the fans are on the edge of their seats. And across the globe, in every time zone, the world is glued to their screens in anticipation. The talking is done. The moment for some incredible tennis is finally upon us. Welcome to Friday night at the magnificent Indian Wells. This is the very place where legends are made and where high hopes are sent packing. So stay with us, keep that passion alive, and get set for a contest people will be remembering for years. That crucial first serve is just moments away, and honestly, there's nowhere else on the planet we'd rather be. Let's get set for some world-class high-octane tennis. It is time. We have Eala and Jovic taking on Ostapenko and Baptiste. The desert air is hot, the stakes are even hotter, and the tennis is about to be unforgettable. As we watch these four incredible athletes go through their final warm-ups, you can see the laser focus in their eyes. Alexandra Eala is hitting her marks with surgical precision, and at the net, Iva Jovic looks sharper than she has ever been. Her hand speed is phenomenal, almost a complete blur as she moves. Over on the other side of the net, Jelena Ostapenko has the look of a woman on a scorched earth mission. That trademark aggressive stance of hers sends a clear message she's coming out swinging from the very first ball. Hailey Baptiste is just soaking it all in, closing her eyes for a moment to absorb the electric energy from this American home crowd fueled by their passionate cheers. This is the calm before the storm. For the Philippines, Eala represents a monumental breakthrough that goes far beyond just sports. She is a national hero in the making. For the U.S., Jovic and Baptiste embody that deep well of talent that keeps this country at the forefront of the tennis world. And for Latvia, Ostapenko continues to be a symbol of fearless, unyielding defiance against all odds. Everything is on the line here tonight. We're talking crucial ranking points, major prize money, and huge momentum for the rest of the grueling 2026 season. It all comes down to what happens over the next few hours under these bright lights. The crowd is now settling into a hushed anticipation. The chair umpire is climbing into position, and the atmosphere in here is thick with the weight of expectation. This is it. The 2026 BNP Paribas Open is about to give us its first true masterpiece of the year. You won't want to blink. Don't look away, don't even breathe too loud, because in an instant, history is going to be made on this court. Thanks for joining us for this huge match preview. The countdown has officially hit 0. Let's head down to the court for the start of this epic, once-in-a-lifetime showdown. Enjoy the match, everyone. It is going to be one wild, unforgettable ride. Think about the incredible journey it took to get to this moment. All those thousands of hours on dusty practice courts, the injuries overcome, the grueling flights across the globe, and the sacrifices made by their families. All of that history, all of that effort, it all comes down to this one match. When Eala steps to the line to serve, she carries the dreams of millions on her shoulders. When Ostapenko swings her racket, she carries the legacy of a champion. When Jovic poaches at the net, she carries the future of American tennis. This is the grand theater of the desert. The lights are bright, the shadows are long, and the tennis is about to be absolutely electric. The umpire calls for quiet. The players take their positions. The ball is tossed high into the desert air. Here we go. History begins now. Witness the greatness, feel the power.